I've had it since August 23rd of last year. First, I felt like all kinds of great improvements. I was feeling better. I felt like I was better balanced, and I felt like my blood pressure was going down, my blood glucose was going down, and my anxiety was definitely going down, and I was feeling better. I was feeling grateful, I was feeling more hopeful, and I was feeling gratitude every day, trying to really appreciate my life.
Hey, Michelle, thanks so much for coming to spend some time with me today.
Well, I appreciate the welcome. Thank you very much. I mean, like last night we talked about what inspired us, and I feel like, everyone is so sincere about their sharing, and everyone is so sincere about the difficulties that they had, and the fact that they are so honest. And in a world where it's not cool to be kind or sincere, then I think that it's still very brave of everyone to be that way, because it's cool to be sarcastic, and it's cool to be sardonic, and it's not cool to be sincere, and it's not cool to pay people compliments. But I feel like everyone is very supportive of everyone else in QHS, and I
Mhm.
feel like, when everyone is of like mind, united in mind, even if not in body, that is a real credit to QHS. And I was in like constant pain just because I have diabetes, and I have neuropathy in my hands and my feet. And because of my neuropathy, I kept falling. And because I kept falling, I would have additional injuries. And then
Oh,
when my blood glucose would go up or down, I would feel miserable. And then I have a additional condition called gastroparesis, which just hits me out of the blue. And it means I spend a lot of time vomiting and having diarrhea, and I never know when it's going to hit. And so I carry around emesis bags and diapers, and it's inconvenient, and it hits out of nowhere. And sometimes I can be doing great, and then other times I will just have explosive vomiting, just projectile vomiting. Like there's not even, usually if I lay down or if I'm in a reclined position, then I can keep myself from throwing up. But the second that I sit up and all of that gas comes up, everything else does too. And so, since it's unpredictable, I spent a lot of time being miserable, because it is very uncomfortable. Sometimes it's painful, and it means that I visit the emergency room pretty frequently because I get dehydrated. And so I have to have fluids. So it's definitely not easy. And even when I first started going to the Twine Wave meetings, there would be times when I was just absolutely miserable, and Julie would just be so warm and so encouraging, and thank me for being there even though I was sick. And so that's why I continue to come back, because I really enjoy the camaraderie.
mhm.
And so, like, my neuropathy, I have to say, has not really gotten much better, but definitely my spirits are high. And I think that's what the device has done for me, because I don't think I really realized how much anxiety and how much depression I had because of my physical condition. And so a lot of um, my time was just spent being depressed. Like I didn't want to get up, I didn't want to talk to anybody. It was really
Aw.
difficult. Yeah, it was really difficult. Like I feel like I'm a pretty social person, but it was really difficult for me to continue my interactions because I felt more obligated to do them than anything else. And so if there was something that was going on, I felt obligated that I had to be there. And of course, while I was there, I was very personable. But when I'm by myself, I'm not at all. And so the fact that I feel better and I don't mind social engagement so much anymore, my anxiety is almost completely gone.
Oh,
And I can't really say that I feel much anxiety anymore. Um, but depression is still kind of hanging on there. And so I know that psychologically speaking, it's very difficult to overcome being depressed. I mean, probably anxiety too, but I feel even more that, depression has got a foothold on me. And even if there's nothing making me depressed, like people who are being unkind or people who are being cruel or people who are being cruel to animals or anything like that, even if there's nothing else going on, it was very difficult for me because I would feel guilty about everything. I still feel guilty about everything. And I feel like that's a psychological pattern in my brain that hasn't let go yet. Because like I would feel guilty about eating. I would see like an animal who was a stray, and I would look down at the food that I was eating and I was like, I don't deserve to eat this, and that just permeated, my thought process all the time. And
Wow.
I even had a conversation with my dad and he's like, why are you depressed? And I said, I can't explain why I'm
Right.
depressed. All I can tell you is that I am depressed, and I've sought years of hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, psychiatry. There, at one point, I was with a psychiatrist for over a year, and every month he just prescribed me a new medication. And at the end of the time that I was with him, he said, well, kid, you've been a trooper, but I can't help you. And then he referred me to a social worker who also did hypnotherapy. And I feel like when I was with her, I felt great when I was in session with her, but after I left, I would feel just as depressed and just as down. And
Wow.
it was really difficult to continue. The one thing that I'm really proud of is that I managed to finish college, because every single day I was telling myself, if I just let go of the wheel, it would all be over. And it was really difficult to continue to drive to school every day and make it there.
Oh gosh. Are
And so
you
I feel
still
like
depressed, Michelle?
I am still depressed. That hasn't that foothold has not let go, but I feel like now there's hope. And I know that there's a lot of work to do afterwards, because that part of my brain, it has just been on repeat for so long that I feel like I've imprinted that on my brain.
Oh yeah.
And so it's going to take a lot of work to undo that. But I feel like in the meantime, with the hope of the Q arc, that's going to be something that will be easier to get out of. I feel like with a new body and a new outlook and you know new hope, that it's kind of like in Star Wars when they say a new hope, and that's the name of episode 4. And then like
Yeah.
despite all their struggles, they still overcome. And I kind of feel like that is like, um for so long I've just been going through the motions, encouraging people, being helpful, being inspiring. And, like I had to quit teaching school because, um, first of all, like my gastroparesis made it almost impossible to predict when I was going to be ill. But also, I didn't really want to let people down by calling in. And so I kind of just stick to Sunday school, but there's been a lot of Sunday school sessions that I've missed because I was sick. And so I'm just looking forward to having like a new pancreas. I'm looking forward to getting over my hormonal issues so that my hair grows back and my eyelashes grow back, so that my skin texture gets better, because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which means I have a lot of ingrown hair from here to here, and it's very uncomfortable. A lot of times it's painful, and it causes a lot of cysts around my jawline. And they're not just like pimples that you can pop, they're very painful cysts that almost never go away. And so I'm looking forward to being free from that. And then really being able to retrain my brain once I have a functional one, one that's not um, trapped in the mire of depression.
So are you participating in the Key project on Tuesdays?
I missed the sign up, so I haven't been able to I guess enroll in it. I missed the sign up link.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Do you have a pen with you or do you want me to email it to you?
Oh, if you can email it to me, that'd be great.
Okay, let me make note because you only missed the first one, so you haven't missed anything. It's Tuesday at, gosh, what time zone are you in?
I'm in Central Time.
So it's at 3 on
Okay.
Tuesdays.
Okay.
And I'll send you the link and you can sign up. And also there's a replay so you can watch the first one.
Great.
And that way you won't be behind because today's what? Is it Thursday or Friday? Friday.
Today's Friday. Mm-hmm.
So you can get caught up over the weekend and jump right in because I do think it will help with the depression. Also, how often do you get out in the sun?
I try every day because I do drive my boyfriend to work, and he has been a great support. He accepts me regardless of everything, and he is wonderful. And the other thing was like what has really hurt the depression, I guess hurt is, I don't know if that's the correct word, but for an example, because I was pursuing medical treatment and I had an appointment every single day. I had a diabetic wound opened up on my foot, and I had a bone infection in my toe, and I had a bone infection in my actual foot. And so I was receiving infusion IV antibiotics, which meant I had to have a PICC line. And the PICC line was irritating a nerve. So every day was a nightmare. Like my shoulders hurt all the time. And they said that there was not anything that I could do about it. And then when I got off of that, it was such a relief, but the infection wasn't gone. So I had to go through a whole nother round of IV antibiotics. But that time the PICC line was placed better so that it didn't actually irritate that nerve as much. And so I was going to I was going there once a week and doing IV infusion antibiotics twice a day. And then I had to go see wound care doctor, and that was I would see him once a week. And then we started hyperbaric oxygen treatment, and that was daily. And so I went to hyperbaric oxygen treatment every single day. And I was still working for a small software company at the time. And my boss asked me to leave. She said, I can't plan around your schedule. And I said, is it really better to have me 0 hours a day than 5 hours a day? And she didn't say anything. And she just said, I cannot plan around your schedule. I need somebody here all the time. And so I felt really bad, and I felt obligated to leave because I felt like I was disrupting everybody else's work schedule because people would have to take up my work when I wasn't there. And so I felt really guilty again because I'm depressed and I always feel guilty. So I felt like it was in her best interest, my best interest for me to leave. And so I haven't worked since December, but to me, that's really depressing because I used to do dog rescue. I used to be very active, but since I can't feel my hands or feet and I fall down a lot, then I cause other people to worry about me. And I feel guilty about that.
So when did you get your QT Wave device?
I've had it since August 23rd of last year.
Wow.
And at first I felt like all kinds of great improvements. I was feeling better. I felt like I was better balanced, and I felt like my blood pressure was going down, my blood glucose was going down, and my anxiety was definitely going down, and I was feeling better. I was feeling grateful. I was feeling more hopeful, and I was feeling, gratitude every day, trying to really appreciate my life. And then about 2 months ago, the patriarch of our family died. A week after that, one of my cousins died. And we're a very close-knit family. Some would even call us clannish because You know, we all live within a couple of miles of each other, and we're all always in each other's houses. And so when that happened, it just kind of, it really kind of destroyed the last link that we had to the whole family, you know, because that when we lost our grandmother, you know, that was a few years ago, but we still had the support of everybody else. When
Mhm,
we lost our uncle, that just kind of fractured the whole family.
mhm.
And
Somebody needs
since,
to pick up the staff and lead again.
right, and since then, it has been really difficult to see. I guess I feel like I am grieving so much that I really can't progress, you know, with the device. And I feel like there are just some things that maybe the device can't overcome, because since everything is frequency, that I'm stuck in a lower frequency of grief and I can't move out of it.
Oh, honey, you can. And I really feel that the key project, that community will help you. They helped me, like before we introduced it to the members, they helped me process something that was going on and they reframed the way I was looking at something. And it was a big deal. And they helped so much. So, so know that you can and will get to where you want to go. Okay. Just have that belief and know that it will happen. And these girls are lovely. Christine and Laura, Ruby, Annette, everybody involved in Kira, they are amazing. So please just be encouraged that you're not broken. You're just on one of the dips of the, hills and valleys that we go through in life, and you can get out. And I will say, this is the most interesting interview I've ever done. I'm coaching you. But get out in the sun 20
Hmm.
minutes a day at least, so that you can absorb that vitamin D. And that vitamin D is so helpful with depression.
Hmm.
There's a great documentary called Food Matters, and it talks about all kinds of different things, but like they give people with depression pills when the best healer of depression is the sun.
Right.
No sunscreen, because then that will block the absorption, but being out in the sun helps so much.
Okay. I will
So,
definitely try that, because pretty much the time I spend in daylight is going to my medical appointments and then dropping off my boyfriend at work.
okay. Yeah,
And
you want to be
literally
out in the
that's it.
sun.
Yeah.
Short sleeves, let your arms, I mean, the more skin that shows, the better.
Hmm.
Even no sunglasses, like let that get into your eyes. And you don't want to look directly at the sun, obviously, but towards the sun, with a gentle, soft gaze is very, very helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
So, sorry, I don't usually coach on these calls, but I feel like I just want to give you a big fat hug.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you
All
very much.
right. Well, you mentioned earlier that you're looking forward to getting and through the Q arc. And it sounds
Yes.
like you were one of the early people. So your trip is really close. What are you looking forward to, having a healthy 30-year-old body with, all this wisdom you've accumulated through the decades?
I look forward to not bruising as easily anymore. I look forward, I mean, I know that these are like really base materialistic things, but I look forward to my hair being thick again and my eyelashes growing back, because I know that when I feel like I look good, I feel good. You know, I mean, that to me, I look forward to being able to walk without worrying that I'm going to fall, you know, or without having to have a cane. I look forward to being able to eat again and not worry that this might be the meal that causes me to throw up. I really look forward to releasing all of this guilt and then just being able to help where I can and not feel guilty that there are some things that I cannot do. I mean, I really look forward to being in a place where I can receive some intensive therapy so that I can retrain my brain. I feel like that's the key to everything is if I can retrain the way that my brain thinks, that I will definitely change the frequency of everything. And I know that I can't change anyone else around me. I can only change myself. But when you can't change yourself, you get stuck. And I'm looking forward to being able to change my brain so that I don't have this guilt that's weighing me down and holding me back so that I can help more people. I've always wanted to be a full-time volunteer. I always wanted to be able to just go, 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 and not have to worry about making an income so that I can help as many people as possible. I used to like watch these dramas or these documentaries on television, like, the Korean people are starving, and then there are orphans in Russia, and there are all these stray animals that don't have food. And, every 6 weeks it was something different. Like, I want to go work in the migrant fields in California so I can teach the little kids English. I want to, go where people are suffering so I can help them get out of suffering. And, never really like a clear plan, but, I have to like be more patient because I'm very impatient. I want to do everything now. And so for my humanitarian project, I have like 5 different projects that I want to focus on. One is Kangen water. I want to go to all the reservations here, all the Indian clinics here, and I want to put a Kangen water machine in every Indian medical clinic. I want to start a school, like a vegan culinary school, so that people can learn how to cook vegan and learn how to make delicious food that's vegan and grow their own garden, and then, become a self-sustaining school by having a restaurant. I come from a military family, and so I want to help homeless veterans. And everybody wants to help homeless veterans, which I think is fantastic, but I don't have a clear plan on that. Like, I have a friend that's trying to develop a housing complex for homeless people. And so I think I might just kind of like join him on that and see, what can I do that way. And then there are just some animal sanctuaries. There are just so many things that I want to do because I feel like that's where my compassion is.
Mhm.
But I don't want to like get so involved that I'm completely overwhelmed and can't do anything, you know?
And remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you must fill your love cup up first so you can better care for everyone that you come into contact with.
And mostly just like releasing, yeah, that's true. And everyone tells me that, but mostly releasing this guilt that really holds me down like a tethered balloon because I want to help everyone. And then when there's someone that you can't help, that just like pulls you back down and you forget about all the good things that you did because you couldn't do this one good thing.
I really think that the key project is going to be very, very, very helpful with you, Michelle. So I promise you that I'm going to send you a link so you can get caught up. I'll find the recording, find out where it is, and I'll send you everything so you can work on it this weekend and be ready to go for Tuesday.
Great. Thank you so much. I definitely look forward to it and I will open it as soon as I get it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today and for sharing your story and for continuing to hold space for hope because we are so close.
Yeah. And thank you so much for doing all that you do. I hear praise for you all the time, all over the place. And I know what kind of dedication and what kind of determination and what kind of hard work goes into that and being able to do what you do. So thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, seriously, I think I have the best job at QHS because I get to talk to members like and be face to face. Like feel into each other. I
Right.
literally was talking to Cynthia this morning. I'm like, I love my job. I have the best job of anyone.
I
So,
understand.
and I get to have you back for part 2 post Q arc. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a
Okay,
great day.
beautiful. You too, Michelle. Thank you. Bye
Bye.
for now.
Thank you for making this QHS project fly. This valorous admin team, thank you. The Key community welcomes you. Thank you for making your home QHS healthy and happy. Thank you for helping us place QH centers all around the world. Together, hand in hand, we make miracles happen. QuantumHealingSystems.org. Thank you.